In this video, I will share with you 12 things why the Bay Area sucks. And if you stick around at the end of the video, I'll also share with you why people still come here. I've now lived in the Bay Area for over 33 years. During that time, I've lived in the East Bay and the Peninsula and now back in the East Bay. And I have seen a lot of changes. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to share with you my experience living in the Bay Area. If you're someone who's thinking of moving here, whether in the Peninsula, the South Bay, the North Bay, the city, or the East Bay, then this video is for you. Let's get started. First thing I want to share, and it shouldn't be a surprise considering we are a major metropolitan area, is traffic. Believe it or not, the Bay Area traffic is starting to give LA a run for its money. Seriously, commute times when you look at distances should be a breezy 20-25 minutes at most. But most of the time, everything now is a grueling hour and sometimes even more. You know, sometimes early Saturday mornings, I would drive up to Marin and ride my mountain bike, and it would take me around 45 to 50 minutes to get to the trail. By the time I'm done, which is usually after lunch, my drive home becomes an hour 15 minutes or an hour 30 minutes. That's on a weekend midday. Traffic has become a constant companion and an unwanted one at that. Between 7 and 11 a.m. and 2 and 8 p.m., you can bet your bottom dollar that you'll be stuck in gridlock. It's enough to drive anyone up the wall. It's not uncommon for people to be on the road as early as 5 a.m. just to avoid traffic jams, especially people that live in the outskirts of the Bay Area. If you're considering moving to the Bay Area and you are like me that hates sitting in traffic, take my advice and factor in traffic when choosing a home. Trust me, it has the power to turn your life upside down. I'm not even exaggerating. The hustle and bustle of the Bay Area could be why people are always in a rush and sometimes not in the best mood. I'd say that if your work offers you work from home remotely several days a week and also offers flexible hours, then that would be a big plus. Even right now, as most people are still doing a lot of work from home, the traffic is already horrendous. Think when we are full-blown back to office. And believe me, it will come sooner than later. Here are a couple of hot spots to be aware of. Either coming or going into San Francisco is almost always traffic. 101 by the San Francisco airport is always traffic. 237 and 238, those small connector freeways, are notorious as well. 880 freeway,
forget about it.
24 and the Caldecott Tunnel,
Forget about it.
I'd want to say, but wait, there's more, but we might not be able to end this video.
Forget about it.
So, if you want to know a specific area, comment below and I can give you an idea. Or better yet, you can check Apple Maps or your favorite GPS during your travel commute times to get an idea of how it is. If there's one positive aspect of all these traffic that you might find yourself stuck in, you can turn your car into your own little university. Listen to podcasts or self-help recording, or maybe even learn a new language. Number 2, I don't know how to quite describe this next thing I want to share with you. I kind of look at it as some type of cultural shift, but maybe it's also because I'm now getting older and have a different perspective. It's hard to ignore the change in people's attitudes. The once pleasant interactions have given way to rudeness, arrogance, and an air of intellectual superiority. I mean, talking about rude, just the other day, I was walking into a restaurant and there were these 3 young guys that just walked in as I opened the door. No smile, no thank you, no nothing. No matters. They seem to be in short supply these days. And it's not just young people, which shouldn't be surprising because where else would these kids learn it first but at home, right? Which brings me to number 3, or my next comment or observation. The lack of a sense of community. Instead of becoming this melting pot of cultures, that sense of community that used to define the Bay Area feels like a distant memory. It's become a place where everyone is a stranger, heads down, focus solely on their destination or work or goals. The personal connection seems to have faded, leaving us in what feels like a sea of anonymity. Maybe it's to be expected considering we are a metropolis that's close to a major port. Also, the fact that we have lots of immigrants and H-1B visa workers coming into the area. I mean, I get it. People want to be with people they know or familiar culture, right? Next, let's go back to transportation. Public transportation. Bay Area residents have grappled with public transportation. If you've ever wondered what it's really like to rely on trains, buses, let me be straight with you. If I could hop on public transportation more often, I totally would do it. But guess what? It's not always as seamless as we'd hope, especially in the South Bay. Think San Jose, Santa Clara, Cupertino, Saratoga, those areas. Now, don't get me wrong. There's light rail, various buses, and all that other stuff. But let's call a spade a spade. It's far from perfect. It would be amazing if one can take the bus or the light rail to work, but the reality is that it's a bit of a maze. No direct route means you'd still need to drive a chunk of the way and then jump between different buses. Now you might say there's always hopping on a bike, right? Oh, biking sounds like a great idea, right? Except if you're in a place where it's hilly, that would be a major challenge. And I don't even want to talk about safety. And then there's BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit. It gets you places, but let's just say it's got its quirks. It's not exactly pocket friendly, meaning it's expensive. And there's the occasional sketchy vibe and funky odors that linger. You might be okay riding it during rush hour or with a bunch of friends, but alone on a weekend at night, that might be a stretch. There's also Caltrain. Now that's a bit of a different story. It feels safer and cleaner, which is a breath of fresh air. But here's the kicker. It can also be a bit more expensive. Really, the challenge with these two, BART and Caltrain, is getting to them and when you get off, getting to your final destination. Next thing I want to talk about is geographic size. Technically, when you look at the Bay Area, you wouldn't think of it as this huge place. At least not in the likes of Jacksonville, Florida, or Houston, Texas. But let me tell you, it's still big. It encompasses 9 counties that stretch from Marin all the way down to the south to Santa Clara. And the more that you get out of the immediate Bay Area, the more traffic and the public transportation issues gets magnified. In other words, it's quite a challenge to get around. And most likely, if you live here, you will have friends or co-workers or even family that lives in places not close to you. But again, even if they were close to you, it would still be a challenge. Next up is crime. Crime in the Bay Area can vary significantly depending on specific location and type of crime. As I have mentioned earlier, the Bay Area is a diverse region that encompasses several counties including San Francisco, Alameda, Contra Costa, Santa Clara, San Mateo counties, and others, each with its own unique crime statistics and challenges. Here are some general insights into crime in the Bay Area. Property crime is a common issue in many parts of the Bay Area. This includes crimes such as burglary, theft, auto theft, and vandalism. Some neighborhoods in Oakland and San Francisco have been known for higher rates of property crime, although that still varies by district within these cities. Violent crime rates in the Bay Area also vary by location. Cities like Oakland and Richmond have experienced higher rates of violent crimes when compared to other areas. Common violent crimes include robbery, assault, and homicide. Factors contributing to these rates include gang activity, poverty, and community tensions. Homelessness and property crime. The Bay Area has faced significant challenges related to homelessness, and there have been reports of property crimes associated with encampments and individuals experiencing homelessness. Policing strategies and law enforcement practices can vary across different jurisdictions within the Bay Area. Some cities have implemented community policing and other innovative approaches to address crime and build trust between law enforcement and the community. This sucks, by the way. And I'm not going to say it here. I used to think that defunding the police is stupid. Well, technically, I still think it is, but sometimes I think they are useless, our police. It's almost as if they have no policing power. Our politicians have completely gutted their power. Technology-related crime. The Bay Area is also known for its technology industry, and with it comes cybercrime and technology-related offenses. This includes issues like identity theft, online fraud, and hacking. Hate crimes. Like many metropolitan areas, the Bay Area has experienced hate crimes targeting various communities. Local authorities have worked to combat hate crimes and promote inclusivity and diversity. For the most part, it seems like crime is spreading, and sometimes it feels like no one can do anything about it. Next up is inflation. And I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill inflation that the feds are concerned about. I'm talking about the effect of the tech industry in the local economy. With so many high-paying jobs, the erosion of the dollar's value in the Bay Area has created a significant financial challenge, making it increasingly difficult to achieve a decent quality of life unless one possesses substantial wealth or is a millionaire. Also, a billionaire would help. The very thing that drives our local economy is the very thing that also pushes us down. Those of us who grew up in the middle-class families were instilled with the belief that we could eventually attain a lifestyle comparable or better than our parents as working-class individuals. However, with housing costs skyrocketing and the population expanding rapidly, achieving the same quality of life as our parents has become an exceptionally daunting task for many. It may even seem unattainable. We all aspire to secure a single-family home in a safe neighborhood, but such opportunities are becoming increasingly scarce. Large-scale developers have prioritized return on investment, maximizing housing density. And speaking of tech companies, the dominance of big tech companies has cultivated an atmosphere of suffocating pressure. The relentless pursuit of success in this environment has transformed it into something akin to high-pressure factory. Individuals are constantly vying or competing with one another to ascend the corporate ladder. They toil tirelessly, often forsaking vacations, weekends, and personal time, and this kind of lifestyle is wearing thin on a lot of people. This spills over to children. Kids are constantly pushed by their parents to excel with the constant message that they must improve to amount to anything in life. This unceasing demand for improvement has fostered a culture of relentless striving where rest is a rare luxury. I think we need to drive or teach our kids that school is important, but not the most important thing in the world. Not getting into Stanford or UC Berkeley or UCLA is not the end of the world. Next is population, or how crowded the Bay Area is beginning to be. The Bay Area is starting to be known for its high population density in certain urban areas, particularly in San Francisco, parts of Oakland, San Jose, and other major cities within the region. In these major parts of the Bay Area, I think it's to be expected. But even in places like Brentwood, Vacaville, Livermore, or places that are an hour away from San Francisco, has become a victim of urban sprawl. And this population growth is becoming more evident by the type of homes that builders are now required to build. They are required to make new builds high density, meaning you get less land or no land at all. Home buyers used to go outside of San Francisco so they can get more land, but not anymore with the majority of new builds. An effect of all this population growth is the seemingly urbanness of the Bay Area. Look, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of amazing open spaces, parks, and natural outdoor places everywhere. Unfortunately, because it's so crowded, getting to these places are often a painful exercise. Unless, of course, you are like me and live close to one. But even living close to one, you still have to fight for parking, etc. on the weekends and on holidays. So what seems like these amazing places like the Napa Valley Wine Country or the Livermore Valley Wine Country or China Camp, Mount Diablo, which are amazing places, ends up being overcrowded on weekends and holidays, which kinds of defeat the purpose of being out in nature and being alone. Next up is weather. The Bay Area is often described as having a lack of traditional season, at least when compared to regions with more distinct seasonal changes. We don't have the turning of the leaves or other weather-associated changes like in the East Coast. This is due to its unique Mediterranean-like climate, which is characterized by relatively mild, consistent temperatures throughout the year. Here are some key aspects of the Bay Area's lack of season. You will most likely always hear people say weather in the Bay Area is mild year-round. And for the most part, the Bay Area enjoys a temperate climate with mild temperatures for most of the year. However, that's not entirely true if you are in the interior parts of the East Bay or in Solano County or Napa County. In the summer, it could be really hot, which means a need for AC or running the AC for extended periods of time. While it's true that we get limited temperature extremes like other regions of the country, don't be surprised if temperatures drop below freezing and you experience heat waves as well. Realistically, we only have two seasons, wet and dry seasons. Actually, if you're in the coast, you also get foggy summers, but more on that later. Instead of traditional seasons, seasons, the Bay Area has wet season and dry season, which up until last year, it was mostly just dry season. The wet season typically occurs from late fall to early spring when the region experiences most of its rainfall. Dry season, which is characterized by minimal rainfall, takes place during the late spring and summer months. I mentioned foggy summers. One of the defining features of the Bay Area's climate is the summer fog, particularly in San Francisco, Pacifica, Daly City, and Half Moon Bay. The marine layer of fog can roll in from the Pacific Ocean, creating cool and overcast conditions during summer months. This can make summers in these places feel cooler, and in the case of Pacifica and Daly City, gloomier than in other parts of the region. Then there's microclimates. The Bay Area's diverse geography results in microclimates, which means that weather conditions can vary significantly from one neighborhood to another. Inland areas such as the East Bay tend to be warmer and sunnier than the coastal areas like San Francisco. Let me give you a quick example of this microclimate. I live in Castro Valley. There are days that I leave my house in the morning. I might be needing to wear a sweater or a jacket and say going to Dublin or Pleasanton, which is just the next city over. By the time I get there, it's like 10 to 15 degrees warmer. And you will get that in a lot of the areas over here in the Bay Area. Snowfall is extremely rare in the Bay Area itself, even in the winter months. Snow is typically limited to the higher elevations of the nearby Sierra Mountain. But again, don't be surprised if you see the top of Mount Diablo covered in snow or Mount Hamilton and other surrounding peaks. Which brings me to consistency or lack of it. This can be seen as a pro or a con depending on your personal preferences. Some people appreciate the consistency of the Bay Area's climate, while others may miss the traditional seasonal changes found in other parts of the country. But the reality is that it's more inconsistent, especially when it comes to rainfall. And finally, number 12, maybe I should lead with this one. Housing is expensive here. Take a look at these latest numbers. So those are some of the reasons you need to know before moving here, or maybe I should say not move here. However, even with all these negative things, guess what? People still move here or come here. And I'm still here. Here are some of the primary reasons why people choose to relocate to the Bay Area. There's no denying it. Job opportunities. The Bay Area is a global technology and innovation hub, home to Silicon Valley and numerous tech giants like Apple, Google, Facebook, and Tesla. People move here in search of high-paying jobs and career advancement in the tech industry. Unfortunately, as I have mentioned earlier, this is a double-edged sword. The same reason that attracts people here is the same reason that causes most, if not all, of the negatives that we just talked about. Another factor that attracts people here, higher education. The Bay Area boasts prestigious universities and colleges including Stanford University, UC Berkeley, and many others in between. People often move to the region for educational opportunities, both for themselves and their children. We are known for tech, but reality is that we have a diverse economy. Beyond technology, the Bay Area's economy is diverse with thriving sectors in finance, healthcare, biotechnology, and more. This diversity of industries attracts professionals from various fields. The Bay Area is known for its vibrant cultural scene, including world-class museums, theaters, music venues, and restaurants. It offers a rich tapestry of cultural experiences and a diverse population. Natural beauty. The region is renowned for its stunning natural beauty, from the Pacific coastline to nearby national parks like Yosemite and Lake Tahoe. Outdoor enthusiasts are drawn to the areas for hiking, biking, and water sport opportunities. The Bay Area is known for its progressive and inclusive values, which resonate with people seeking an open and accepting community. The climate. It turns out that 4 seasons, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
I know this is hard for you, but winter is coming. We know what's coming with it.
Snow is no bueno. The entrepreneurial spirit. The Bay Area's entrepreneurial spirit and culture of innovation inspire individuals with dreams of starting their own businesses or collaborating with like-minded individuals. More than anything, this is the starting point of most of these companies that we know today. Directly related to entrepreneurial spirit are networking opportunities. Being in close proximity to major tech companies, venture capitalists, and industry events offers excellent networking opportunities for professionals and entrepreneurs. Quality of life. Despite the high cost of living, the Bay Area offers a high quality of life with excellent healthcare facilities, public transportation options, and a commitment to sustainability and environmental stewardship. Diversity and inclusivity. The Bay Area is known for its diverse population and general inclusive and accepting atmosphere, making it an attractive destination for people from different backgrounds. Access to education for children. Some families move to the Bay Area because of the region's strong public and private school options, as well as its focus on education and extracurricular activities. That's the Bay Area for you. It offers many advantages. It also has its challenges, including high cost of living, traffic congestion, and housing affordability issues. People considering to move to the Bay Area typically weigh these pros and cons based on their individual circumstances and priorities. If you're thinking of moving here, whether you are local or just exploring parts of the Bay Area or a total newbie, we can help you narrow down your search. Just give us a call, a text, or an email. Thanks for watching.